The Ralph John Raymer House is one of Anderson's architectural treasures, and it sits on a green knoll next to Anderson University. We'll explore the history of the house and the man behind it this week under the kudzu. One of the last homes built on the boulevard in Anderson was the Ralph John Raymer House, built in 1930. It is one of the few examples of the Tudor Revival style in Anderson. Fashionable in American architecture during the 1920s and 30s, the Tudor Revival style was characterized by steeply pitched roofs, half-timbered brickwork, tall windows, and high chimneys. Clay tiles manufactured to simulate wood shingles adorn the roof. The Raymer House is a sprawling home of approximately 6,000 square feet. The first floor is the living area with bedrooms on the second. It was designed by Henry Irvin Gaines, a native of Pickens, graduate of Clemson, and member of the Asheville design firm Beecham, LeGrand & Gaines. The cost of the home in 1930 was $50,000, or about $675,000 in 2014. The home's first owner was Ralph John Raymer, a prominent Anderson businessman, civic leader, veteran, and politician. Raymer was born in 1876 in Bethany, Missouri. He served in the Spanish-American War and was the consular agent for the United States in Mexico. In 1911, he moved to Anderson and was the co-owner of the Coca-Cola Bottling Company, along with his brother-in-law, Charles Ellis of Greenville. He became captain of the Palmetto Riflemen and helped to form the machine gun company of the 118th Regiment. Raymer served on the U.S.-Mexican border during the uprising of Pancho Villa, and he was later elected to the South Carolina House of Representatives in 1921, serving one term. He built his home on Boulevard in 1930, and from 1931 to 1936, he served on the state's Highway Commission. Ralph John Raymer died in 1937 and is buried in Old Silverbrook Cemetery. In memory of Raymer's accomplishments, the American Legion hut on Greenville Street is named in his honor. After his death, the home was sold to Mrs. Nancy F. Stringer, who had the present gardens and landscaping installed. Although formal gardens were included in the Gaines' 1930s plan, they were not added until the 1940s and 50s. The gardens were designed by Earl Sumner Draper based on the original 1930 plans. Draper was a noted landscape architect from Charlotte. The property is presently owned by the Rainey family, who are descendants of Miss Stringer. In 1992, the Ralph John Raymer House was added to the National Register of Historic Places, making it the only home on the boulevard to bear such a distinction. I'm Brian Scott, and we'll be digging up more history next week right here under the kudzu.